Hi, it's Carter, and I'm sure you all know by now, just minutes ago, here in Pennsylvania, they tried to shoot Trump. They tried to shoot Trump. How many times have I said it? How many times have I said it? It is no coincidence, mark what I'm telling you, it's no coincidence that right after Biden self-destructs, somebody, I can't say who, because the Supreme Court has allowed the surveillance state in America now to monitor every word we say. And they know from the more than 100 prisoners, political prisoners in the Gulag, they will arrest those with whom they disagree. So I can't say who just tried to assassinate President Trump. But I think you all know, okay? Back in the history of presidential assassinations in recent years, not recent now, it's been, I forget, it was when I was a kid who did that one. Now, right on the heels of Biden self-destructing, suddenly President Trump is shot. You might say, well, it could have been anybody. Yeah, and anybody will be blamed. Yeah, anybody will be blamed. Patsies, they're called. But this was a headshot. This was a headshot. This was not done by an amateur. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. And I'm going to tell you something else. This is going to make Trump rise even higher in the polls. The MAGA state, which is what we are, is going to get even stronger. And this will not be the last assassination attempt on President Trump. Now, years ago, I had lunch with a very, very close friend of President Trump. And I said at the time, I hope he is not allowing only the Secret Service, a government organ, to be his protection. And he said, no, he has his own bodyguards. He needs to double his own bodyguards. His own bodyguards. Folks, we're in for a rocky ride. President Trump, if there were a free and fair election, Donald John Trump would win in the biggest landslide in history. But there's not going to be a free and fair election, as we just saw minutes ago. Now, brace yourself. All the fact checkers are going to come out. The big story from the U.S. government's going to come out. Oh, it was a craze this, a craze that. Maybe, as they said with Reagan, it was a guy who thought Reagan was in love with Jodie Foster. Excuse me? It's funny that the guy who shot Reagan never mentioned Jodie Foster after the arrest. Been out of jail for, a decade now. Has never mentioned Jodie. Oh, but that's who it was. That's right. So there will be a patsy, and what I'm telling you now will be just labeled, oh, that was terrible. He made those false accusations. Don't fall for it. They lied to us about the COVID hoax. They have lied to us for 4 years about the mental health of Joe Biden. We're going to be lied to again, but make no mistake about it. This was not an amateur hit. This was not an amateur hit. There are some people who are proven experts at assassinating those they don't want in political office. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a gulag like the political prisoners from January 6th. So that's where we are, folks. Brace yourselves. It's going to be a rough ride. May have another phony pandemic. There's going to be massive corruption. This is just the beginning. It's an awful beginning. It's an awful beginning. Pray for President Trump. Pray, if you saw the pictures with the blood coming from the side of his head, pray for him fervently. Pray for him every day. Pray for him every night. He's going to need our prayers. He's a fighter. He's fighting for us. And now all of us have to fight all the harder for him through our prayers, through our support, through making it clear to the deep state, you do your worst. We're going to do our best, and we are going to put Donald Trump back in the White House. where he belongs instead of that sick old man that you stuck in there. Stay strong.